Thank you. Ted, would you open us with prayer?
Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come this hour of the evening to give thanks for the many blessings that have restored unto us. We just thank you for this privilege, and we thank you for this opportunity for allowing us to come together to discuss the business of the city. We pray that everything we do and say will be in your will. It is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. We'll go right into our visitors. Our first visitor tonight will be President LaForge, who'll give us an update from Delta State. Welcome, President LaForge.
You're on mute, Doc.
Mute.
Thank you, Mayor.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you all very much for inviting us. I have on Zoom with us my vice presidential colleagues, and I'd like first, if it's okay, to introduce those individuals to you so you know who our leadership team is.
Okay.
The first, not necessarily in order, but ladies first, Dr. Michelle Roberts is our vice president for Executive Affairs and Chief of Staff. We have Mr. Rick Monroe, who is our Vice President for Advancement and External Relations. He's our fundraiser. We have Mr. Jamie Rutledge, who is our Vice President for Administration and Finance and our Chief Financial Officer. And two new members of the team, I'm pleased to introduce to you Dr. Andrew Novobilski, who is our new Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost. And finally, bringing up the rear, Dr. Eddie Lovin, who is our new Vice President for Student Affairs. And I welcome them to the call and introduce them to you, Mayor, and members of the council, for opportunity for you all to visit with these individuals anytime you'd like. We are in our fourth week of classes. So far, we've had a great start to the new year. A couple of notes about COVID. We are continually concerned about the Delta variant, of course, as you all are. We had a good year last year in keeping tamped down the number of positive cases. We have started off this year in similar fashion. As of today, we have 6 employees and 6 students who have tested positive in the last 2 weeks. We have about 60% of our faculty and staff who are fully vaccinated, and somewhere between 12 and 25% of our students. That's a kind of an unwieldy number because it's all voluntary, and we're having incentives on campus to encourage all faculty, staff, and students to take the vaccine. We want to say a note of thanks to you all for being a good team member and collaborating with the university and with the county and the state when we had our vaccine drive-through center back in the spring. That went very well, and we think served the citizens of Cleveland in a very good way. I'll share with you just a few numbers, always of interest to our citizens around the city. We have about 531 employees. That's the kind of the market situation for our employment base. Our enrollment, which has been affected last year and again this year by COVID and some other factors, but mainly COVID, is hovering just under 2,800 at this point. The final numbers aren't in, but that's about where we are. Our tuition currently is $8,190, $8,190 per year, which by any measure is a great bargain and value in the higher education world. And we operate with an annual operating budget of about $71 million, to give you a kind of a measure of the size of the business that we are. I'd like to comment on a couple of few programs that we have, and then at the end, Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to entertain any questions anyone has. Our signature programs continue to do quite well. Our aviation program, of course, you all hear every day. The planes are in the air, flying all around the area. We have a large number of students in our aviation program now, and it's doing quite well. Our Delta Music Institute, DMI, is doing very well. They've got around 30 new students this fall. As you know, we have our own studio and record label in the old Whitfield Gym facility on campus. Our teacher ed program, our long and strong suit from the beginning of the university's history, is very, very robust right now. We're producing a lot of teachers and counselors and principals for the education programs throughout the state. Our nursing program, of course, is one of the top in the state. We have some excellent nursing programs all the way to the doctoral level. We are going to be putting an addition on the building and renovating the current building over the next couple of years. And at the end of that, we expect to be able to host another 60 to 80 nursing students, which will allow us in an even greater fashion to provide nurses to help curb the shortage in the Delta and throughout the state. And I would comment on social work. Our social work program produces another group of great folks going into the workforce in the Delta. And finally, our newest signature program of sorts, I've mentioned it before, I think, but I wanted to remind everyone of the Digital Media Arts Program, which is a kind of a partnership between the DMI and our art department. And it provides graphics curriculum for our students, including animation. We're the only school in the state providing that particular deal. Allows our students to learn how to write video games and other programs that are used in technology. When you think of digital media arts, the question is, what is that? When you go to your vehicles on the way home tonight, just look at the dashboard. That's digital media arts. Quick update on the golf course situation. I know everyone is interested in that. There's been a great pause in any development there because of COVID, primarily beginning back early last year. The current status is that we completed the feasibility study last year, got a green light for all aspects of the development that we had envisioned from the very beginning. We have permission from the state to proceed, of course. IHL is monitoring every stage of this, and we are in the final stages of making a formal arrangement with the developer, at which point we will then sit down and decide exactly what we want to put out on the golf course, pretty much sticking to some of the original design ideas, and we'll certainly consult with you, keep you posted as that develops over the next few months. At this point, we don't have any more detail about what we're going to do, but we'll kind of stay in with the old original plans that we had, and we'll see where that goes. We'll certainly, particularly for those in Danny Abraham's ward, we'll want to make sure we keep everyone over on the east side of the golf course apprised of what's happening there. So we'll keep you posted on that. A note or two about BPAC, our Bologna Performing Arts Center continues to be the entertainment mecca for the Delta. We have a big slate of programs this year, I think 11 formal programs, starting with Dionne Warwick next week. That should be an outstanding program. And I'll close before questions with a note or two about athletics. We're back full time with football. We did not have a season last year, as you know. It's been more than 600 days since our guys played football. They beat Bethel University last Thursday night handily. So we started the season off well. This weekend is pig picking. There'll be events out there at the Statesman Park area Friday night and all day Saturday. The game is at 6 o'clock, and we expect a large crowd and hopefully another victory. And we invite you all to come out and join us. And our homecoming date is set for October 30th. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll stop, and I'd be pleased to address any questions or concerns that anyone might have.
Okay. Any Alderman got any questions for President LaForge?
Mr. President, let me commend you and your staff on a job well done. You know, when we hear all the positive things happening in Delta State, it makes us all smile. It even makes old Valley State like me smile. But I want you to know one thing, that we're just excited about what's happening out there. You and your luxury staff continue to, keep those students flowing in, and I'm sure things will get back to normalcy here shortly. But we just want to let you know that we're proud of Delta State doing well, because they got off to a great start. And I watched the other day, and they really look good.
Thank you, Mr. Sanders. Appreciate that very much.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Dr. Forge, I appreciate you coming by. Just a couple of quick questions, and I know this has probably been beaten to death. Are you going to, when you said you were going to talk to the homeowners over in Danny's ward, are you going to consider any comments from those in particular business owners that you may be competing with that are not in favor of that type of project?
We'll certainly let the board know, let the mayor know, and you all can certainly weigh in. Anyone can weigh in on anything that we're doing. We'll be fully transparent with all of the plans that we have. We just don't know the details yet. As soon as we do, we'll roll them out. And we welcome anybody's input.
Further question? Okay, President Forrest, thank you for you and your executive staff having a long day, and appreciate y'all bringing us up to date.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
the best, everybody. Thanks for
Thank you so
having
much, President Forrest.
me. You bet.
Okay, we'll move right along with guest Kenneth Gaines from South Delta Planning and Development. Welcome. Kenneth? Oh, on mute.
There we go.
There we
Can you
go.
hear me, Mr. Mayor?
Hey,
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
good
Again,
afternoon.
my name is Kenneth Gaines. I'm with South Delta Planning and Development here in Greenville, Mississippi. I am the program coordinator for a program that's called Career Step, STEP. I did send a flyer to the office, and I don't know if y'all may have it in hand or not, but I did send that out to y'all so that you can read and maybe have a few questions at the end about the program. It is a program that's funded through the Mississippi Department of Human Services. It's for those individuals the ages of 18 to 59, and those persons also that their income level is below the 200% poverty level. We actually fund persons to go back to school. We fund it. It's no money out of their pocket at all for persons that have the desire to go back to school for different trades. Dealing with carpentry, CDL license, which is a going thing right now, the CDL license, electrical work, CNA. We even do the nursing program. We even have some programs that we also fund at Delta State University, the school right there in your community. We also deal with the CAP Center, Mississippi Valley State University, Mississippi Valley State University, Delta State University, Coahoma Community College, County System, and Holmes Community College. And again, it's for those persons that meet our eligibility that desire to go back to school for a trade. And I think you all probably would agree with me. A person that has a hands-on trade probably can make way more money than any one of us who sit in these offices, because they can actually go out and do things on their own, from welding, all those type programs at the CAP Center. We fund all those programs. And it's for those, again, for those individuals for the ages 18 to 59. We deal with 14 counties in the Delta area, and that's Coahoma County, Tunica, Bolivar, Sunflower, LaFleur, Carroll, Holmes, Washington, Issaquena, Sharkey, Humphreys, Panola, Quitman, and Tallahatchie counties. Anyone that lives in any one of those counties and is 18 to 59, and their income is below the 200% poverty level, we can actually fund them and help them go back to school. Right now, I often tell people there's no reason right now that anyone should not be back in school, getting a trade or doing what they want to, because there's so much funding out there through the workforce, through our workforce program, that they're just throwing money out there, just trying to get people trade and work ready. And that's our desire. We don't talk about jobs, we talk about career. Having those individuals to get a career and become a career ready, because the job is, anyone go to McDonald's, get a job. But once you get a career, that's a lifetime experience and everything. And that's what our desire is, to do that, and not to have any kind of any hindrance in their way. We not only pay for them to go back to school, if there's any, I would use the word barriers that may be there. If they need books, we buy books. If they need the goggles or whatever for the welding class, we buy that. For the CNA class, scrubs. There is nothing that we would not buy. The only thing that we do not have money for, and that's a problem in the Delta area, is transportation. It would be incumbent upon them to get the transportation to any one of the schools that they desire to go to. But anything that they need to be successful, we have the money and the funds to do that, and it's called supported services funds. But and I don't want to keep going on and on and on. I do want y'all to ask me questions, because I can just be talking about this program and you like, is he going to slow down? Let me ask a question there. But that is what I'm here to do, and I just want to introduce this program to the mayor. The mayor probably know about it anyway, because he's a part of South Delta. But for sure, Alderman Sanders, when he saw me and he and I talked about this, I for sure wanted to come and let the other aldermen know also that there's money out there So for those persons that's in your community, in your churches and everything, that they say they want to go back to school, there's money out there through South Delta Planning and Development that we can actually fund them and help them go back to school. My number is 662-378-3831, 662-378-3831. And I'm located right here in Greenville, Mississippi at South Delta Planning and Development District in the Village Shopping Center.
Mayor, I do. Kenneth, is this does this program work in conjunction with the program that Mitzi Woods does?
I work right up on the business. This is my boss.
Okay. For those of y'all who don't know this, they had an electrical lineman program about a year and a half ago, and they had about 45 or 50 guys, or I don't even know if there may have been some women involved in that class. But not only did they have a great program, they found jobs for all these people, and most of them started out making more than $50,000 a year. That is an amazing program they do. Kenneth, we thank y'all.
And Mr. Garrett, just to let you know that we have a class going on right now. Also, the application I was trying to email that to I think Miss Dominique, the information on that on the linesman class, because every so often they have a class come up and everything. But there's a class going on right now at MDCC. With that class, Mr. Garrett, they actually built a building there just for that purpose alone. So that class comes up and everything, and there's certain criteria a person has to have to get in that class. But that is one of our most successful class. And again, as you said, when those people leave that class, they're waiting to hire those young men and women.
Exactly.
100% higher rate.
Sir?
It's 100% higher rate.
That's right, Mr. Mayor. That's right.
If you would get this information to Dominique, and as we see people that we feel like in our neighborhoods and all that we can help, we would certainly put them on the right track there.
And another thing too, that this needs to be provided to seniors in high school, because a lot of these seniors are, I hate to use the word not college material, but some of them would be much more successful in a trade where they can develop a career.
Mr. Garrett, the only problem with those persons coming out of high school, they're probably going to be of the age of 18 and still in the household with their parents. So therefore, their parents' income may cause them to be ineligible. But if they're not in the household with their parents, or if they're in the household with their parents and the parents had no income, or their income is below the poverty level, this would be an excellent program for them.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Kenny, there's a lot of them, like you just said, I mean, that won't have that type of income. But Gary, thank you for enlightening us a little bit. And some of those things that you just told us about, I was unaware, and the mayor being on the board and everything. So this is a positive win-win situation. Thank you, Kenny, for enlightening us. And this was a much needed message for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
All right, going down the list, Ms. Fortney is with us. Ms. Fortney, welcome.
Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing tonight?
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Good.
I know it's been a minute since I've been attending any of the board meetings, but you all already know what I'm here for, the Sterling Anderson Park project. I noticed that the building has been updated, but I've noticed that there hasn't been any proper seating throughout the park. And also the basketball goals have been taken down from the park as well. I went to go play basketball with my granddaughter and there wasn't any goals up. And so when are the other projects? I know I spoke with Ms. Green and she was telling me about the wading pool has been implemented in this upcoming budget. So what else about the seating for the park, the proper seatings? Because we don't have any garbage cans out there in the park at all. So we're looking for the proper garbage cans, like the seatings, like what you have downtown with the concrete seatings with the garbage cans attached to it.
Beaches out there.
Jason?
We got to figure out, I guess, a way to keep the garbage cans out there. We put them out there and they seem to walk off.
Well, what about,
I guess, a good way to chain them to something or something just a little bit heavier. As far as the benches, we do have 1 or 2 benches within the park, but we did add some picnic tables underneath the pavilion this past Friday.
but see, those benches in the park need to be updated because those are not like actual benches. What we're looking for, the same benches that you have over in Fireman's Park and downtown walking trail where it's concreted down along with the garbage can to make it look, to update and upgrade the park, to have better seatings. So therefore those garbage cans will not walk off.
Yeah, I can definitely look and see where we got those. I know they were there before I got here. Not sure where they were purchased or how we purchased those, but I can definitely look in and try to find a purchase order or look at some information on that.
And see, and those can replace the old seatings that's there, because those benches, I can't even call those benches because you really can't sit on those benches. Those benches been there for over 3 decades. And so it's time for an upgrade on those, and the basketball goals.
The basketball goals were taken down when all of them were taken down in town. And, I think between COVID and some shootings and some different things, it made it where the basketball goals were going to stay down for a while.
I mean, what the shooting has to do with the basketball goals?
Some people on the basketball court shooting basketball when they got shot at. But the goal's not going back up right now. So that's a non-issue.
Why? So that mean I can't go shoot basketball with my granddaughter? I mean,
if you got a friend that's got a goal, I got one in my backyard, you're welcome to come use.
No, that's beside the point. I mean, the children can't play. They have nowhere to go because they're getting police called on them when they're shooting basketball in the street because they can't go to the park and shoot ball.
Okay.
I mean, and then therefore violence is increasing because, as my grandparents told me, an idle mind is a devil's playground. The kids have nothing to do. Everything has been taken away from them.
Well, I think we're looking at doing the splash pad, so maybe that will attract the younger people. I think the goals that were out there were mostly, and I stand corrected possibly, that it was mostly older people.
And the older people, the older people would normally play on their first goal. And I know the other children would play on the second and third goal because they was learning how to shoot. And I mean, you shouldn't penalize the whole community for an incident that's happened because that's what's going on. Okay, and and the children it's affecting our kids in our community because they're speaking to me about it.
Yeah. I know I took a ride out there yesterday morning and I was so impressed with how immaculate the grounds looked out there. And I did see those picnic tables under the deal that was built this past year, gazebo. And I also, I thought it looked pretty good. Now,
also, Mayor, I just wrote a purchase order. We are going to add a grill out there as well, right next to that building. It's going to be an in-ground grill. It's going to be 6 foot wide with double doors on it. So we are adding a grill out there as well.
Okay. And you have the picnic tables and that kind of thing. Ted, you have something to say?
Yeah, as far as the basketball goals are concerned, I pass the park daily, almost every day. And when those goals are up over there, then most of what we have out there is some of the larger people within the community. You never see too many small cheering out there. And one afternoon, after the game was played, there was some shooting. And when that happened, and I was really for taking the goals down 100% because somebody could have got shot and even killed after the basketball game.
I don't think we have a goal up anywhere in town, do we, Jason?
So it's not any goals out there.
No, that's when you boost patrolmen up in that area. I mean, you can't penalize the community because you have to look at it. You have teenager guys that go to school, they play basketball. They just don't want to have to practice at school. And outside of school, they have nowhere to practice. Nowhere to practice they shoot. Nowhere to practice they 3-pointers. So you can't penalize the whole community for one incident that happened. You just boost up patrolmen in that area. Because that's what kept me alive in that community. I grew up there. I'm from there. I'm 3 houses down. But there's nothing. You have taken everything away. I can't do anything with my grandchildren. I can't shoot basketball with them. I can't even put them in a wading pool. Why? Because it's not operating. So you penalizing the whole community for one incident that happened.
We're going to look at the wading pool.
And that's not ethical. That's not right.
Look, the wading pool?
The wading pool and the basketball. I'm not talking about the wading pool. I know she told me that that's in the process of being fixed along with the
looked at, yes.
Yeah, so she did tell me about that. So now our concern is that also the basketball goals and the seating, the proper seating got there.
Well, I think you said you were gonna look at the seating, Jason.
Yeah, that's what he stated.
I'm
Will
gonna go
stated.
back and look at that. I will.
Okay. Okay, in the
So
basketball.
how much funds, I noticed also that there was the $1.9 million public improvement bond that you all had. So I'm wondering how much of those funds was allocated to set aside for Sterling Anderson Park? Because I noticed 33,000 or something of that was done for the improvement of that building that's out there.
I guess that was what was put into it.
Ms. Portney, I'd have to pull those numbers because that 1.9 million is from last bond year.
Yeah, because it said fiscal 2020.
Yes, ma'am. And so I don't know. I know we had a big chunk of money that was approved towards park improvements for all parks. And so I could pull that number out there and send that to you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Grant. Well, that's it for right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I had visitors, but I see that Wally is on here. Was he on the agenda?
Yes, sir. That would be during public hearings.
Oh, okay. I beg your pardon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go into public hearings then.
Yes. So the first public hearing tonight is related to the fiscal year end 2022 budget and the ad valorem tax levy resolution. I didn't have anyone contact me about joining the meeting to discuss the public hearing, but we can consider the public hearing open for discussion. And then I put some notes in the board's Dropbox as well, if you guys had any questions.
Okay, questions? Okay.
Okay, if there are no comments.
If there's no comments, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Gary made the motion, Brian second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Go ahead, Dominique.
All right, and just for clarification, we'll have to approve the budget next week. But this is just closing the public hearing.
Yeah, that'll be Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning. We'll do another Zoom.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Engineering.
Dominique, you didn't want to go over that memo?
Just in case you guys had questions about it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. And then, Mayor, we've got to go to public hearings for adjudications.
Okay, excuse me.
Danny.
Danny.
I was hoping you'd forgotten me. So it's a pretty good list. Y'all settle in. 218 North 2nd Avenue, Otter Bio Ventures LLC, 801 North Davis Avenue, Windstar Properties, 309 Industrial Parkway Drive, Camara Properties, 105 North Yale Street, David F. Baker, 627 North Bio Avenue, Acme Investment Company, 1825 South Crispin Avenue, Inez and J.W. Foster, 123 South Crispin Avenue, J.W. Foster, 801 South Davis Avenue, Mary Chapman and Darnell Moore. Highway 8 East is by number. It's J&O Real Estate Investors. 300 North Davis Avenue, 7L LLC. 505 South LaFleur Avenue, Mary McKenzie Duncan. Delta Street, again by number, Ajax J. Morris Jr. 1116 Lincoln, that's Durant Inc. 1715 Deering Street, Eric S. Ho. 102 South Andrews Avenue, Kitty Kosman. 206 4th Avenue, Terry Bird. 1200 North Yale, Robert Frost Fleming. 202 Ronaldman Road, Joel Trust Partnership. 213 South Sharp Avenue, Bradham Rental Properties LLC. 211 South Sharp Avenue, Bradham Rental Properties LLC. 301 First Street, Robert A. Taylor Sr. 213 and 215 North Victoria Avenue, Bird Family Irrevocable Trust. 1708 College Street, Dadlani Rental Properties LLC. 1519 Ferguson Avenue, Johnny Riley, 619 Ferguson Avenue, New Jerusalem Church. Highway 8 East, again by number, Brent E. Baldwin. 116 Walker Street, Leslie W. Walker Jr., that's in the state. 704 Murphy Street, Marcia Hutton. That one there is marked for the owner requesting a 30-day extension. So when we get to the end, y'all want to keep that in mind. 201 South Davis Avenue, Crystal Cleveland Inc. 1507 Church, Dorothy Moten Jones. 302 Legion Road, Michael L. Scruggs and Kenyatta Griffin. 1218 South Chrisman Avenue, James Earl Triplett et al. 513 Cross Street, Lolita Myers. And 201 Washington Street, Cleo Robinson. That's the complete list. If anyone is here in the meeting to comment on those, and I would tell you to note also that I read the ones with either no progress or some progress. I didn't read the ones that says owner request removal. So it would be in order for a motion.
Make the motion, 704 Murphy, who asked for a 30-day extension, and all at once has seen significant progress.
Hey, Roberts made the motion.
Second.
Second, Ted. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Now, I know Mr. Ashley is here. I didn't call his name, but I know he's here. I didn't know if that was
Okay.
I think he said that Billy probably would be able to enlighten us a little bit about what probably progress was made there. Yeah.
Okay, Billy, you want to?
Yes, sir. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Hey, Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Wiley is on with his engineer about his building. Wiley hasn't made any progress to get a permit or anything. He's trying to find funding and stuff. So he came by the office this afternoon about 3 o'clock, requesting an extension. I told him he had to go back before the mayor and board to grant an extension. I couldn't grant him an extension because one has already been granted and it was in the minutes. So he had to come back before you all to rectify his extension that he's asking for.
Okay, Wally, what now?
I think Wally's still muted.
Wally, you muted?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay. Working with the engineer still and on some proposed building sketches and all for the buildings and seeking, doing a business plan with the bank and in process of doing that. And we're, moving forward as fast as possible with it and requesting, permission to, continue on.
Dominic, what was in the minutes from last meeting?
They were supposed to provide us with a plan to start construction.
Yeah, the actual motion was to have him start within 30 days. The last motion was documented on August 3rd, and then completion done within 6 months, which put him in February. So you guys asked him to essentially get started within the next 30 days. So he's requesting an extension from that 30-day period.
I know I got a call I missed earlier, right before the meeting. Questions from anybody?
I mean, we're doing the same thing we've done every time for the last 2 years. Well, Wally, I mean, you keep telling us you're gonna do it. You make us look bad because we're trying to work with you, but you never do what you say you're gonna do. And we got all our professionals, our engineer, we got Billy Trotter, their whole department. They're saying this thing has got to be done. It's got to be done now.
We have started on it. We have contact, we put out, had foundation people come to and made a call inquiry to the community development and was inquiring about a foundation permit. And they were just, because I don't have all the completed plans and specifications with the on file there for the permit, they, refused to do anything with it. I have gone in and there was a tree on the back side of the building, on the north side of the building. That's been removed. That was probably one issue of the settlement. And to go ahead and every time, I'm trying to get the plans completed, and right now we're having to develop a business plan so we can move forward.
Your engineer told us the last time he had the plans.
Well, he's working on the plan.
I'm on.
Mr. Carter's on. What about it?
Thank you for recognizing me. Yes, sir. We have actually have changed from some of the existing construction that's in there, and we're going to pull out all that old roof system that was there. We have tried to tailor the building where it will blend in with the setting of other buildings around it, and use the image of the bank right across the street. We've actually furnished a rendering to Mr. Ashley, and I was thinking that Mr. Ashley had shown it to some in there, and the plan has been laid out actually in addition to 405, 403s in the process as well. And the development does take a little bit of time. However, once you put together your business plan and go through the bank, the banks just take their time, and I can understand the time cycle, to approve the direction that Mr. Ashley's going. And the building is going to be substantial. It will be solid. I've done similar buildings before like this. It will look like it's a new building, and it will improve the corner down there with two of those buildings. Actually, in the works, it's in a part of the plan that Mr. Ashley has asked me to work with him on. We have done drawings. We have not completed drawings where that I'm comfortable to submit them to the city. I want to give Mr. Trotter a professional set of drawings.
Time out. You told us at the last meeting you had the plans.
Well, I said I had the report. There were sketches in the report.
We got our fire department, we got our engineering department, we got our community development department telling us not to vote positive for this. So I got two questions. When are you going to have plans available? Number one, that can be provided to a contractor for an estimate. And number two, Wally, do you have proof of funding?
Proof of funding in writing, not yet. I am.
Then how can you do this?
I'm talking to the bank, and we're getting applications, and they have looked favorably about it, and we're moving forward with it, Gary.
I mean, I hate to be the one doing all the talking, because all of our professionals are telling us no. All of our professionals are saying this ain't going to work. And we've been having this discussion with you and your architect or engineer, Mr. Carter, for at least 3 months now. And we are no closer today than we were 3 months ago.
Let me get the business plan finished with talking with the bank, and so that we can provide adequate funding for the project, please.
Next Tuesday.
Think we could have it by next Tuesday?
I'll talk with the bank. They said, you know, it's going to be an application process, and hopefully, you know, maybe a preliminary. I don't think they're going to be able to do the whole complete approval. I don't know what all is going to be asked, but you know, we're going to get the information to them so that they can move forward with it also.
I mean, Wally, this board just doesn't feel like y'all telling us the truth. That's where we're having it. That's where we're having the issue, Wally. I'm the only one talking, but this is I'm talking. Yeah, I'm speaking for the whole board right now. We've been listening to this for 2 years.
Well, and the point I made at one point, and I don't know how it was taken, this not only affects this project, it affects every project that people come to us. How can you do for one that you can't do for the other? So, I mean, you are putting a burden on us to tell people, we tell other people what they got to do, and they throw it right back up in our face. Well, Wally don't have to do it. So,
Mr. Carter, you gonna have a completed plan by Tuesday?
I cannot have a completed plan by Tuesday. There's an awful lot of.
You told us last meeting. You told us last meeting you're gonna have one by this meeting.
Gary, we're working on the funding for the for everything to move forward with it. I've submitted, the report, the foundation report. I've submitted several layout building sketches for different type of floor plans. We've got an office building. We got a sales area. I did 2 sales. We want to bring in 403 East Sunflower Road into it also as an additional phase of the project. It does take some time to do it. And we've got, let us go forward. Let me move forward with the bank and get
I know you kill it, but you're killing us, Wally, because you tell us this. You tell us this every but you tell us this every meeting.
You wouldn't start a plan without a building project, without a business plan. And so,
Mr. Ashley,
I have never had a business plan. I've built 3. I've built 3 buildings in this town, and I have never taken this long to put together a plan to do it.
Dana, you got a question?
I'm very, very sympathetic with you and your cause. But my question is the same as Gary. How long does it take for you to get your business plan together, to get your construction plan? Now, I'm new to this board, and I've heard that several times. And like I said, I'm very sympathetic with you. I'm on your side, but we keep hearing the same things presented to the board. And I'm of this belief of Gary's, if it can't happen soon, then we're going to have to make a decision to move forward to do something different. So how long does it take? I've heard the 3 months, we've heard 6 months. How much time do you need?
I'd like an additional 30 days.
So tell me now, because I want it to go on record. In 30 days, what do we get, Wally?
Should have the business plan in process, and once we get that, know where the funding and everything is coming from, we'll be able to complete the drawings.
No, I won't. Let me make the stipulations. We need a business plan. We need a cost estimate, and we need proof of financing.
Okay, 30 days.
30 days. I second that
motion. Any other alderman got something to say about that?
Danny, you had something, didn't you? Did you have anything, Danny?
If that was a motion, if that was a motion, I second the motion.
Okay, the 30 days.
30 days with the three things.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you,
All
Mayor.
right.
Okay, thank you.
On you, Wally.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we'll go into engineering report.
Guys, I believe you all have a copy of my report. I'll hit a few high points of our report. We have completed Fiducia Park. We have the pay request, final pay request we're submitting tonight, and then we're going to start making the reimbursement request from the Department of Wildlife this week. Fayette Davis Pump Station, we are getting close. We're ironing out a few bugs in the system now, but we hope to have that one wrapped up fully in the next month to month and a half, I'd say. Our wastewater treatment plant phase 2 renovation project, the big SRF project, we've submitted the final plans to DEQ at the end of last week. So we're looking back for their final comments, and then we'll get that one out to bid by the end of the year. In our Rosemary Road improvement project, we've had the office review meeting with MDOT. We've had the right-of-way kickoff meeting with MDOT, and we've just started acquiring right-of-way and working on the final plan revisions. And then last up, our MLK sewer rehab.
Whoa, you skipped one.
Ooh.
The meter replacement project.
Yes, sir. I'm just hitting the meter replacement. We're still waiting on our final meter delivery.
No, that's not my question. We had a lot of miscalculated meters in that project. A lot of the meters were larger than we anticipated. That's the reason why we got more bond money we need. So all these 5/8 meters that are going back, is that money coming back into that bond fund for the construction, Dominique?
Yes.
Okay.
That
was my only question, Josh.
We've already received 77,000.
Okay, thank you.
But while we're on the meters, we have 10 meters left to be delivered, and then the contractor's moving back in to finish this project. I think we have roughly 100, 130 left to install, and they're all larger. And then the only other update I have is the MLK sewer rehab project. We're submitting a change order tonight to add a few additional manholes so we can finish lining this project and hopefully wrap it up in the next 2 months.
Other questions, Josh?
Well, the only other thing I believe the board asked us to provide a plan for downtown striping, and we did submit the plan for you to take a look at. I realized some of the count, some of the parking stall count was slightly off, but it goes from about 60 existing spots to 71 proposed spots.
How far down did that go to the south, Josh?
South Street in Shelby.
Okay, so it goes to the police station?
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes to the police station all the way to North Street?
Correct.
Okay.
And this is the same, kind of like last time. You're seeing an increase in 11 spots. However, these are going to be wider, so a little bit more functional than all the existing.
But to do that, we're going to have to direct one-way traffic all the way from the police department.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, and that was going to be my questions about the roads on South Bayou. What kind of shape are they in? Are they going to be able to take that increase in traffic like that, especially behind the depots? I mean, it's okay, but it slopes off.
Yeah. We can take a look into the condition of the roads in that area.
What was the issue we were discussing? What was the reason for going down to South Street?
Well, what we were talking about doing, Billy, was increasing the parking from South Street all the way to North Street and to make that one-way traffic so you don't have that confusion that happens at that red light right there by Nisa's.
Yeah.
You got all of a sudden you got traffic going one
Right.
way and then you got to go in two ways.
Have we talked to the store owners down that way by any chance?
I thought that's what they wanted. They actually came to the last meeting and asked for that.
Oh, is that when the guy with ice creams?
Matty
Yeah,
and
Jeff
yeah,
Matty.
he and I think even that fresh place.
Cleveland Fresh, yes.
Well, thank you.
Miss Jana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So both of those businesses were between, what is that, Collins and North Street.
Court Street and North Street.
We're right.
Court. Yeah, Court.
Collins and Court kind of
Yeah.
zigzag right there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're still going to move that problem down by the police station with your traffic flow. You're still going to have some confusion. You're just moving it further south.
Yeah, but you don't have as much. You don't have a red light there, so it's a four-way stop. It's
Right.
maybe a little bit easier to negotiate. All right, so y'all gonna complete that study before we decide to do the striping?
Yes, sir. We can finish the map. Would you like us to send a letter to all the businesses with the map?
I think that would be appropriate, yes.
I think so. You really get people say, well, I really didn't know it. Somebody might have said it, but I didn't know it. So, yeah, I think that's an excellent idea, Josh.
Where does that go then? It's gonna go like from Cable One all
Yeah.
the way to Grover's Corner. You got to
What
get.
it sounds like.
You got okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Thank
can't
you, Josh.
communicate enough.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
That's all I
Okay. Danny Griffin?
Yes, sir. First off, your consent agenda is before you. Needs a motion, second approval.
I'll make a motion. We approve.
Gary made the motion. Danny second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor.
Okay.
Can we defer back to Josh? Just one question. If he's still
yeah.
there.
Yes, sir.
Josh, can you give us a little update on that sidewalk project there on Martin Luther King? Do you have anything on it?
Sure. So that's the MDOT funded is the TAP project where we're redoing the sidewalks on Court Street and MLK, south end of MLK. We have the plans, about 95%. We're planning to submit they're called field review plans to MDOT probably tomorrow or maybe the next day. This week, they're going to MDOT for the first field review.
Okay. Thank you for the update.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Josh, I know that Chief Bingham asked you to seek out a permit with the MDOT about the traffic, about the cameras and that right away. Have you gotten any response from them?
I do. I have. Go ahead, though. Have you, Josh?
Well, I talked to him the end of last week, but you might have more information than I do, Mayor.
They're looking to see the poles that we have on, if that's going to be okay. They're also looking at a turn signal with that light, like you'd asked about seeing. So
thank you.
I have Willie Simmons looking into it. He ought to be able to move it a little quicker than the rest of us.
Yeah, where we left it with MDOT is we could install AASHTO crash rated poles. We'll have to replace the poles that are already installed with an AASHTO breakaway pole, kind of like you see the signpost mounted on the highway that have the bracket at the bottom. Or what I would prefer to do is let's just move the poles farther back. And so they are supposed to be getting back to me with the minimum distance we can use these steel poles off of their travel way. It's called a clear zone for each location, so we can adjust the locations if needed. So we're still waiting.
Is it Walter you talking to?
No, sir. I'm talking to the MDOT District 3 permitting.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right,
Thank you,
Danny, back to you.
Yes, sir. I need a motion and second to approve the consent.
Okay, yeah, we did. We Gary made the motion.
Okay.
And I got his second. And Danny second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Next item I have, and you also have our reports. Note though on these reports, you've got a report from me and a report from Katie and from Jamie on the litigation, but look there in Katie's, she's got those design guidelines that's going to be coming before Heritage, and they put a lot of effort into those. And also look there, or to be expecting from Heritage, their recommendation on your appointments to the Public Arts Committee. The thing that I have next for your approval, though, is I have the approval of the consulting agreement. Item 2 under.
Is that with the
Water LLC. Right. Water
yeah.
LLC.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve.
Gary made the motion.
Second.
Second, Brian. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Unless there are questions, everything else I have is executive session.
Okay. All right. Planning Commission and Heritage Commission.
Those two items there are mentioned to you in Katie's report. The Planning Commission approved and made recommendation. This is a setback change there. Item 1 and 2 dealing with a mini storage unit going in across from Dodger Dogs.
Across from what?
The Dodge store.
Across
from Walmart, Gary.
Okay. I mean, I thought we had a zoning issue with that.
No, it's, it should be a 25-foot setback, and they approved a recommendation to give him a 10-foot side yard variance, and he still has to talk to the engineer about his drainage.
He has to get
The
special
first
exception
one
as
is
well.
zoning. He's
He has to
correct.
get a special exception as well because he's going to B3 zoning district. Mini storage is only allowed by special exception only in the B3 zoning.
That's what I said. It's a zoning issue.
It is a zone issue.
So we're doing it here. We're doing another spot zone.
No, it's not spot zone. He's just allowing the use, special exception use. It's allowed, but only allowed by special exception. He's not rezoning the property.
Billy, is it where the mini storages are now?
Yes, he got 2 mini storages there already. He want to add another one. And the zone land development ordinance changed that they only allow by special exception. So the zone is not changing, just allowing special exception use to build a mini storage in that B3 zone.
But if he's already got a mini storage building there, are we making a special exception, or are we just doing the setback issue?
Well,
Making a special exception and setback.
He's been allowed to build 2. He still needs to get a special exception to build 3
That's
because
correct.
the law changed since the last time.
That's correct.
Okay.
Are y'all recommending this, Billy?
Yes, I am. I mean, it's an allowed use. You just got to get special approval from the mayor and board. It's not a rezoning. It just give him special exception to put a mini storage in that location.
Okay.
And a setback variance.
Yes, that's correct.
It's not rezoning. I'll make the motion.
Robert made the motion.
Second.
Ted second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, carry on here then.
And that'll come back next month for a public hearing for anyone that has opposed to that.
Be a sign up.
Yes, sir. Sign going up this week, and they come back next month for any public hearing.
Okay. All right, community development, Billy.
I don't have anything. I gave my report and my detailed monthly report, and I don't have anything unless y'all have something for me.
Questions for Billy?
Thank you, Billy.
Hey, yeah, I do. When these things, you know, when you look at that valuation, like we got 91 family houses, either additions or repairs, and we got 87 commercial. No, 35 commercial. How many of those are new, Billy?
That's addition or repair. New is only
Yeah,
5.
like when you look at your report, it just tells us how many building permits were issued for either home improvements or additions, and how many were issued for commercial additions. How many of those represent new buildings?
That commercial, I mean, the family is 5. If you look on there, it's gonna show new is gonna be 5, and your commercial is showing 1, and multifamily is showing 0. If you looked at that year to date, it'll give you that breakdown right before you get the year to date total. It'll give you how many new. That second line showing it was 5 new construction for family, single family. Then
all right. The reason I asked the question is this: you got that new development right there on North Street and Highway 61. That new convenience store.
Yes.
I mean, which is a gorgeous building. They cleaned that whole corner up, and I know it costs more than $95,000 to do it. If it didn't, I want to know who their contractor is.
That was their permit base fee that they applied several months ago when they applied for that permit. And Stephen Cantu was the general contractor.
Well, so that leads me to my next question. Are we really monitoring building permits the way we should? Because there's no way you can build a building like that for less than 800 or 800,000 probably.
To be honest with you, I think that was something dealing with him in his licensing, and he had to have some type of dollar valuation. And I think he cut some corners on his building size to get it down.
You cut more some corners. I mean, you can't put up a carnival tent for that.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
We can look at the fees and stuff of that nature and see what.
I guess my whole point was I've heard the comment made that, and I know this is before you took over recently. I heard the comment made that we don't issue a fraction of the building permits we used to.
Yeah, that has happened, but here recently, if you look at my detailed report, you can look at the stop work orders we posted within the last 2 months, each month, and see how many permits that we have sold due to the stop work order notice that we've been posting.
You have
we catch them working, we post a stop work order, and they have to come in there. I mean, they start work without a permit.
You're doing a good job with that. I think what Gary's saying, and I would agree wholeheartedly, is when somebody comes in and you see the quality of something like that, you know it has much more value than the 95,000. So you just, it's our responsibility.
Well, I mean, all I know is when I built 2 commercial buildings in this town, and the community developed back in those days, they put a value on it that made me pay a building permit that was commensurate with what I was building. You can't get a building permit for an $800,000 building for $95,000 building. I'm just saying, Billy, this is not in reflection on you, because I know this happened before your time.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying it's something I think our community development department needs to take a real look at.
Yeah, going forward, we need to take a good look, Billy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
All right, Billy, let's change gears a little bit. I need just some information.
Okay.
How high does the grass have to be before a person gets a public nuisance letter?
We usually do rule of thumb 12 inches from the old public nuisance ordinance that we used to have was 12 inches before we actually send them a letter to cut their grass. But if it's getting a little high, we're supposed to just come a courtesy letter on their door or send them a notice in the mail and ask them to cut the grass before it gets to the public nuisance standard. We do a due diligence before we actually send them before the mayor and board.
Okay, I have a question. It's not in my ward, but I've noticed that lot that's on White Street and Highway 61 that was just cleared a couple of months ago, right before across from Church's Chicken.
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed that grass is extremely high. It's not in my ward, but I've noticed that. Have we contacted the person that owns that lot?
Yes, Timbo Construction has been contacted. He's actually proposing to build a Kangaroo gas station on that lot, and he's been contacted to clean up the lot before he can get his site plan and all his permits acquired. He must have the lot cleaned off or whatever. He sprayed the lot. He's supposed to come back and cut it. I see he hadn't cut it, but he did spray it to kill the grass, but he has not cut it. I will follow up in the morning with that.
Thank you, because I've noticed that, and that's an eyesore sitting on that corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mayor,
yes.
Mayor, I want to say one more thing. I've had a lot of people talk to me about the same thing, Zena. And what I've told them to do is this. I said, if you see a lot or a house or anything in disrepair, if you will send me the addresses, I will get them to community development. And Billy will attest to you, I have sent him 2 lists in the last 3 weeks, and they've been that long, and they have sent somebody out to check every address. So if we'll get the citizens to help us, they don't have enough people to check all these things.
Yeah, right around your ward. I think I suggested that before. Right around your ward with a notepad and pen and take it up to Billy's office. It would help him a lot.
I know they've responded. I sent them I emailed it to them, and they respond the next day.
Well, that was one of my reasons why I wanted to know as it relates the length of the grass, because I just don't want to just put an address down and say, you know, this is the problem. So that's the reason now I know about 12 inches. So now I can follow suit with that. Thank you.
Okay. We'll go to Anna.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Thank
y'all.
you so much. How are y'all? This is how my voice sounds, Mayor. The first thing I wanted to say was I wanted to thank Buster and Greg so much for our first responders camp. We raised like almost $700 doing that, and that was because of you guys. It cost us like literally $16 to have it. So Thank you so much. And y'all just come by and see us anytime.
Hey, Anna, you're doing a great job.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Questions of Anna?
How's your crew hanging in there? Your crew doing okay?
They're doing good. Yes, sir. They're doing good. We're I think I'm making them work more maybe than they're used to, but I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right, Buster.
You have my report. You notice it's kind of a new format. I'm going to be getting in touch with each one of you individually because each one of you have something different that you probably want to see or want to know about. So I'm going to get in touch with each one of you individually, see what you would like on the report. That way we can include it each month. Other than my report, unless you have any other questions, I just want to let you know that we did have Operation Saturation this month, where the MBN and Mississippi Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department, we blanketed different areas within the county and the city, and to try to help curb some of the stuff that we've had going on. We did almost get Mr. Campbell, but he had his seatbelt on, so we wasn't able to get
Yeah, I ran into the roadblock.
That wasn't his seatbelt, Buster. That was his mask.
Yeah, I ran into it.
And the last thing I want to just bring up is, as you all know, this coming Saturday is the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and we will do our 9/11 celebration at 8 and 61 like we've always done. We've done it for the past 20 years, and we're not going to stop.
Much needed. Chief, let me ask you a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Basketball goes audience, and I know you got so much to do besides the basketball, but I'm getting so many complaints about this basketball go. So what I'm saying is that once I don't know exactly how we put the language in there, and I'm gonna review it. But after these officers go down there for so many times, to the same call with these basketball goals, it's the same person.
Robert,
Robert, somebody in the street or something?
Robert, do you mean in the street?
In the street, yeah.
Okay.
And that's been the biggest problem. I mean, they're all in the streets.
What I would like to do is just look at that basketball goal ordinance again. Most of the time, whenever we come up and we deal with this, it's usually smaller kids. And when we ask who owns it, so we can try to hold somebody responsible, of course, we get the same answer, don't know who it is. I would like to sit down with Mr. Griffith and address that. I've got an idea that what we could possibly do, and I don't know if it's something that we can do or not, but I've got an idea, and I'd like to share it with him to see if it's something that we could do, that we would be able to find out who actually owns these goals and also have a little fine for them.
Well, let me say this one, Chief, and I'll go on record as saying that I've had a text message since I've been here in the board meeting. Right there at the corner of Alo and Lee Street, and Lee Street is visible. Everybody coming across from college. And that goal right there on that corner, right there at that house, is repeat over, and the neighbors are having a problem with that.
Okay, like I said, that I want to look at it so we'll have a little bit more teeth in it, because like I said, when the officers have been going to it, the issues that they've been running into is we can't find out who actually owns the goal. I would like to see if there's a way that we could do it like an abandoned vehicle and have it towed and have somebody have to get it out of tow.
Okay. Well, whatever help you need us to get it moving for you, we want to make sure it's moving.
I agree.
I'll talk to you in the morning.
Chief,
yes, ma'am.
Were you able to ever get the report that I was asking you about as it relates to navigation and monitoring in the neighborhood?
One thing that we're doing now, if you'll notice on the report that I gave, you'll see that the number of calls is slightly higher than what it was last year during this month. What I've done is I've gone back and I've instructed the officers. What they're doing is what's called neighborhood checks, building checks, and things like that. And they're having to call out in different areas that we will be showing where these officers are, checking neighborhoods and things like that. And we were able, I talked with our software company and found out a way that we could do that. And this is a way that we can monitor, and I can be able to bring that to you and show you exactly where the officers were, what areas that they called out checking in, and then follow up with that.
Okay, how soon can I get a copy of that?
I can show you, I can print you out a copy of that. It's going to be about 13 pages long, but I can print you a copy out and bring it to you tomorrow.
That would be great. Or I'll come by and pick it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
You're
Chief,
welcome.
did we talk the last Mr. Rufus Hill over there at that middle school? Did the time element change on the school crossing? I know they was talking about the school crossing, and
we were having an issue with, it wasn't really not the school crossing, but the flow of the traffic. They changed up how they brought the buses in and are dropping off and picking up the kids. At the beginning of the year, we had a real big headache with that. But now everybody seems to have kind of worked it out and have gotten used to it. So we're not having as much of a problem. As far as the time that the kids are getting out, no, sir, I haven't talked to him, but my SRO officers have advised me that the times haven't changed. So I haven't spoken with him directly myself, but I will do that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Greg?
Just to, again, on the September 11th, this Saturday morning, we'll be having that as well, as Buster mentioned, honor the 343 firefighters that died on Twin Towers. Also, we'll be doing a commemorative stair climb. Delta State's allowed us to use the stadium to actually climb the same amount of stairs that the firefighters climbed in the tower. That'll be at 1 o'clock at Horace McCool Stadium as well. I'd like everybody to be aware of that. I've got the approval of lowest best bid for the concrete work at the training site on there as well. And also a few things with working with community development so much these past few months in executive session on some other buildings that we're having issues with. So we can discuss that then. You had asked me to stay then, so we'll do that at that time.
Right. Okay.
I do have a question. Greg, and I'm just curious. You said you got the lowest and the best bid. I'm curious, why did you get a bid from Cleveland Lumber when they don't do concrete?
You asked me to get a bid from Fleming as well as any other lumber company. The lumber companies contract with concrete workers. So as I went to get the bid from Fleming Lumber, they advised me to go and get a concrete work done from Earl's Concrete, which we already had that bid. And they're glad to do it. Both of them are glad to do it. But it's going to be about a $1,500 contractor fee on top of that, if you'll notice the difference in the price. So to be good stewards of the money, we felt it was in best interest of the city to go with the concrete person, go around the actual contractor themselves. So.
Okay, the reason why I ask you, because I did, because I understand what it takes to do competitive bids. And I did contact the auditor's office, and they gave me, told me look at the code. I'm trying to get it. It's 31713 as it relates to comparative bids. They asked me if we had other concrete agencies in our neighborhood, in our area, in the city. I told them yes. So they asked me, why did we not get bids from other concrete vendors? I told them I didn't know. So that's the reason why I'm asking, because when we talk about comparable bids, you have to get, according to the statute that I stated, you have to get bids from the same type of agency. And since Cleveland Lumber or Fleming Lumber are not concrete agencies, they subcontract their work out. You were to, according to the statute, the bids were supposed to come from a comparable or a person that does the same thing, which was MMG, Joe Reed. That's the reason why I asked, because according to that statute, it has to be the same type of agency or vendor that sells the same thing.
Joe
And
Reed,
that-
Joe Reed doesn't do
Oswald.
concrete.
Yeah,
MMC
let me,
sells the concrete. They don't do the forming.
well,
Mr.
well,
Oswald will not be doing the work.
I'm just quoting what was asked of me.
okay.
They gave me the statute. Now you all can go along with whatever you want to, but that was what they asked me. Were there other concrete agencies in Cleveland? And I told them yes. Then they said that a bid was supposed to come from some of the same type of agency.
But Joe Reed nor Master Mix does concrete work.
Earl does everybody's work in town, basically.
But
listen, this is
look,
handled.
I'm not, look, first of all, I'm not arguing. I don't know Earl. It doesn't matter. But what I'm just saying is when we talk about comparable bids and quotes, that was what was told to me. That was what I asked. He can do whatever he wants to do. But I'm going to go on record that I'm going to be against it because of the fact that we do not have comparable bids.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, there are only two, aren't the two concrete folks in town working together?
They've gone in partnership.
No,
That's correct.
So we technically only have one that does this work. I guess if you will, that's an independent agent right now in the city of Cleveland.
We don't
I've
have
got
people
two. I've got Earl Oswald and I've got Jesse Palacios. Both of those gentlemen are the concrete guys that we have available. Both of them have decided to go in and work together, and they are working as one unit. So we have limited resources on who we can get to pour the concrete. I have really put a lot of effort into providing you with not only what the state provides, but also what you have requested out of me, and will continue to do so. But at some point in time, we would really like to get that concrete poured with what's best interest for the city.
And I'm going to say again, I understand that, but when we talk about comparable and lowest bid, it doesn't always have to come from Cleveland, Mississippi. But if
hold
that is
on.
what, no, please let me talk. But if that is what you want to do, Mr. Jackson, I'm going to go on record that I'm going to say that I'm against it, but the board can do whatever they want to do because of the fact of 31,713.
Miss Wentz, I'd like to go on record to say that if anytime I'm asked to do a bid in the city of Cleveland, I can assure you that I'm going to go after the people that have open businesses inside the city limits. And those are the people that I'm going to try to do business with.
I understand that, but when
I
we
like
talk
for that
about,
to be on record as well.
okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
well, since I'm the mayor, I got something to say. We are very vigilant on doing business with people that do business in Cleveland and taxpayers that have money invested in Cleveland. And our department heads do a very, very good job of spreading the business around. We try to spread our love around to let everybody that does business here. I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill.
No, sir, we're not. We're not. I'm just talking about the statute.
In your opinion.
I'm talking about the statute, and okay, that's fine. That's your opinion, Mayor. I have mine.
Okay, well.
And I'm going to respect you, and you're going to respect mine. Thank you.
Okay, well, I can get long.
Enough said.
Okay, well, I didn't get long, but that's fine. Let's move on. So we will now take a motion. Second, if we're going to do this.
I make a motion, we accept that lowest bid.
Okay, Brian. Danny, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, make record of that, please. Okay.
Mayor, I didn't get the second. Who was the second?
It was Danny Abraham.
Danny.
Thank
you. Okay. Wow. Jamie.
Hello.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, excuse me.
Before we're done with Greg, Greg, if you would, I know the fire department just got through with its calendar year. Would you share with them some of the percentages, the numbers that these guys have been turning in? It's really been impressive.
Absolutely. I get the opportunity to teach at the academy and a lot of volunteers all over the state. They all have the same issue. They turn out about 6 to 8 firefighters per fire. Last year, the city of Cleveland had 226 fires that we responded to. That is no medical calls. It's all fire calls. The guy that made the most fires this past year made 215 out of 226 calls. Now, you hear us say that every year. There's usually one guy that really steps up and really does a wonderful job. But unusually this year, the second place guy made 214 out of 226 calls, which is amazing. And there were 4 guys underneath him or 6 guys underneath him that was 90% or better. So this particular year, we provided an average turnout for the city of Cleveland, over 26 guys per fire. That's dumpster fires, alarm calls, anything. That is absolutely unheard of in the state. We did not have a single firefighter member of the department that was less than 60% of the calls for this past year. And that's 32 members. And out of 32, we turned out at least 26 to each fire call. I've been here 27 years, and that's the most, that's the highest percentage of turnout and, about commitment that I have seen in the past 27 years. And it's just good to be a part of that. And guys are tremendous.
Y'all are a phenomenal group. And,
Can I say while they were at the train museum for doing it for free and teaching 30 kids fire safety? Thank you, Greg, again.
They're a very phenomenal group, and we're very blessed.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Jamie?
Hey again. Y'all have my monthly report. I did update the totals on my end. It was 96 for August, 40 dogs, 56 cats, 53 city, 42 county, and for the total for the year so far was 708 animals. We are working at about an 80% live release rate, and we have a 44 cat transport going out Friday. It's the biggest cat transport we've ever done. We really needed it, so we're very excited for that. We had an update meeting about the shelter today. Sorry, I got a sick little one. We had an update meeting about the new shelter building, about our progress and where we are. And they did have a question about signage for the new building. I know we talked about, we would definitely want to have Mr. Tribble's name on the building. We didn't know how we wanted to word that. They've been asking us questions about that. So Dominique and I wanted to bring that up tonight to y'all to discuss.
I think we need to look at what we did on Fiducia Park and also what we did maybe on the Public Works building out there. That if we kind of try to keep the same theme, the same size lettering and that type of thing, Jamie.
Well, Mayor, what do you want? So we want it to be the William Tribble, Cleveland, Bolivar County Animal Shelter?
Yes.
Okay. So no initial between William and Tribble.
I don't know of one, so
I keep thinking there's an initial, but leave an initial out. But okay.
That's
what
somebody in Danny's office ought to know the answer. Danny Griffith ought to know the answer to that question.
Okay.
Danny, did you hear that?
I'm muted.
Okay.
I'll look it up and get it to
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have the initial there.
But other than that, y'all got my monthly report. And if y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Jamie. Questions?
No, thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
What you doing?
Steve-O?
How's everyone this afternoon?
Hey.
All right, Steve-O.
Everybody got my report. In case y'all have any questions, I'm here to answer anything.
Okay.
Questions of Steve-O?
How you coming with new help, Steve-O? I know you're short a bunch of people.
We still short. I think we're short 12 guys.
We're short 13.
13.
Yeah, I saw that in the report.
We have one weed eater crew and 2 running 0 turns and 4 running 2 pieces of equipment. Yeah, we're really short-handed.
Okay.
Mayor, do we need to look at our rates to see if, make sure that our rates are where they need to be for these guys?
Possibly so.
Maybe.
Do you have any thoughts?
Is it the rate, or you just need to advertise? We need to recruit, or what? I mean, because the rate to me looks good.
I think it's everywhere, really.
Yeah.
It is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not just us, it's
But I
everywhere.
think I think it's everywhere, but I think the rate would also attract more.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's right.
Okay.
We can look at that.
Mayor, can we maybe have the finance committee get together between now and Tuesday to look at that so we can give it, because I know when you short 13 people, that's a lot.
We're doing a lot of prioritizing.
I bet you are.
So y'all have something to vote on third Wednesday?
We're gonna meet to see what
we
come up with, maybe.
But that's all I have. Thank y'all.
Steve-O, thank you. And have fun.
Yeah.
Clint?
Did we skip him for one question, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, we skipped Hunter, didn't we? Excuse me, Hunter?
You on mute.
How about now?
Okay, yeah, we missed you this morning, department head, but welcome aboard, Hunter. We're glad to have you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay, you got a report for us?
Well, me and Jody, my assistant, have been working with Keith and Josh on getting everything lined up and ready, and hopefully be on the right foot whenever Infomart gets out of here. So we're keeping up with the list of work orders and everything like that. So we'll be right there with them. So we won't be lost when we start.
Right, I understand you're doing a good job. Is Eddie on this call by any chance, Dominique?
No, sir, he's not.
Hunter, I would like to welcome you aboard. It's a challenge, I'm sure. I believe you're going to do a great job. I think you've had some wastewater experience. They were telling me from Delta State. So I want to welcome you aboard and congratulations on accepting that position.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Okay. All right, Clint?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. I've got my report submitted, and we don't have anything else to add tonight. Questions of me?
Questions of Clint?
Clint, I heard the president earlier mention how delighted he was, and we want to let you know and continue to do what you do and continue to make it attractive, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, it's the semester has just kicked off, but they've been flying like crazy. They've been keeping the airspace around the airport here lately.
Okay. All right, moving on to Jason.
I don't have anything outside of my report unless you guys have anything for me.
Okay, questions of Jason? Okay, Dominique?
So we got a few items tonight. We've got the ad valorem tax levy resolution that we do every year. We just need approval for that.
Moved.
Second.
Gary, Dan, Brian, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
All right, the next item. So Chala and the Lyric Hotel, they're wanting to commence their 7-year tax abatement. This would actually be the first year that this would happen. So we just need you guys' final blessing.
No, I think we need to go in executive session on that one.
Okay.
That we will do.
All right. The next item, the Heritage Commission has held their funds at the chamber for several years. The chamber is doing some cleanup on their books. And so they requested that the Heritage Commission find somewhere else to put those funds. So the Heritage Commission has approached the city about the city just essentially creating a fund for them that we can move that money over. It makes the most sense at this point. So with you guys' approval, we can go ahead and get that ready to go by October 1st.
So moved.
Gary made the motion.
Second.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, the next item. So there's a program through the Mississippi Home Corporation. It's called a RAMP, ERA, And essentially it's a program where if you qualify, you can get your water bills, energy bills, gas bills covered. And so if we decide to be a part of that program, we just need to basically authorize this agency to pay the city directly for any water bills that they cover. So if you guys are interested in
Any reason why we wouldn't do that?
no, I would think not, because I mean, it's money we can guarantee, and it helps our citizens that need it. So
who monitors it? Who does the monitoring on it, Dominique?
it's through the Mississippi Home Corporation.
So they take care of that. All
Yes.
we have to do is accept it for payment on delinquent accounts.
Yes.
Correct. And they go back, oh man, don't quote me, I think 18 months.
Wow.
They'll go back that far, or 15 months.
Is that right?
Is this
What's
wrong?
that?
Is this wrong property only, or is this just for rental property?
No, it's anybody.
Yes.
It's anybody.
No, it's rental. It's
Oh,
rental.
rental only?
Yeah, rental. You have to be a renter.
Thank
So,
you.
But is it utilities or is it rental, Ms. Green, Ms. Dominique?
it's utilities, but it's only available to renters.
That's what I thought you were saying.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
not for rental property. It's for, okay. You have to be renting. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
And how do they go about acquiring it, Dominique?
Sure. So they would have to contact the Mississippi Home Corporation. I can send you guys a flyer. We have a flyer posted in City Hall where they can go and call, and they have to put in an application. And then once they're approved by the state, then essentially the state will just start remitting that payment.
So do we need a motion to approve?
Please, yes, sir.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Brian, Ted, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Good, yeah.
All right, and that's all I have, Mayor. You guys have the report that Michelle put together, the Alderman reports that has all of our budgets to date by funds. If you guys have any questions.
Okay. All right, Heather.
Hey, y'all. I want to say, as we pointed out earlier, we are still shorthanded in some of our departments, so we've still got several job openings. Gary, I appreciate you bringing that up and you all taking a look at that and seeing what we can do to help there and attract more workers. And with that being said, you'll see my employee action recommendations attached from all of our directors. And we're filling several positions. Just needing your approval. If you have any.
Let me go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the part. I see for the police department that part-time maintenance person, is that? I mean, is that for custodial? I mean, is that? I know, where's Chris? I'm saying we have a full-time.
Yeah, Chris is still there. What this is, it's a custodial person that will take some of the things off of him so he can be able to do more things.
Okay. That explains. Okay.
Yes,
all right, Chief.
I make a motion, we approve the employee recommendations.
I do have a question, Chief.
Okay, same.
Your person that you're transferring, I think a Tawana somebody.
Excuse me, I had a motion on the floor.
Okay,
I had it already. Go ahead.
I had a motion to approve the employee recommendations.
okay, motion on the floor.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Whoa. Now Zena can have a
Excuse
question.
me, go ahead, Zena.
Only thing
go
I
ahead.
was asking, it's not, I was just asking Miss Tawana Dittman.
Oh, we can't
Is
say
she a-
names. We might have to
I
go to.
apologize.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
she a full-time? No, I'm just asking a question. Is she a full-time or part-time? Because I noticed
She's a
you
part-time.
transferred it. You transferred it, but you didn't put a pay rate in there. That's the reason why I asked.
Right, she is part-time right now.
Okay.
And we had a position to come open. We were moving her over to full-time.
Okay. It didn't have a pay rate. That was why.
There is a pay rate.
Yeah,
It's at the bottom. Is that the
No,
bottom?
you need to look at the employee recommendation. You need to look at the spreadsheet.
Right, where it says currently.
I'm looking at the information that Chief Bingham turned in.
No, ma'am. The spreadsheet has all the rates on it. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling.
I saw the rates at the bottom of the transfer sheet. In their request the projected hire, it did not have the information in there. That's the reason why I asked. Requested rate of pay is missing. That's the reason why I asked.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
all,
on the employee action request and it's on that spreadsheet.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
all in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
No, it's not. I know what I'm saying.
Goodness. Okay, Heather, is that anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Robert?
I'm sorry. I don't have anything. I don't know if I can make a public service announcement. I wanted to let all my colleagues know that I am vying for District 629. And I want all my constituents to know that if I'm unsuccessful, I'm not leaving this board.
Well, so, I think you can hold this post and another. David Jordan in Greenwood did for a number of years. So
yes, sir. And
I would hope you would stay on.
It's not a violation of separation of powers.
Yeah.
Y'all won't let him resign.
Yeah, public service announcement paid for by YouTube.
Thank you. I'm asking for y'all's prayers and support. Okay.
Thank you. Good luck. Zena.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Ted.
I just wanted to mention, I talked to a realtor about some cemetery space that might be available, and she is looking for some property within the city. And then once I get that information, I'm gonna bring it back to the board.
Okay. Well, good luck, because I've been trying very hard myself. Gary.
Who?
Gary Gainsborough.
Me. Thank you. Yeah, I got a couple of things. Have we got any idea, heard anything from the garbage people?
They have a truck down. So they have a truck down.
We got
Are you talking about our new people or our old people?
No, exactly. We got garbage that's been on the street for 6 days.
The garbage truck broke down in front of my house the other day.
Yeah.
So you're the problem.
They're basically tackling half a route at a time.
Oh, wow.
Right now. So
all
they're
right.
behind.
I do have two other things.
Okay.
I want to go back to what Greg was saying about the fire department. I did audit work for a lot of larger cities in the city, in the state of Mississippi for a lot of years. And these cities pay anywhere from $2 to $4 million a year for their fire department. Our fire department cost us less than $500,000 a year, and it's the best fire department in the state of Mississippi. We don't know how lucky we are. The other thing I want to say is this: we got great department heads, but we've got 3 of them that have just recently taken on roles, and I'm talking about Billy Trotter and Steve-O and Anna, and they have done a fabulous job, and we're nothing more than a reflection of what they do for us, and we cannot be more blessed. All our other department heads are wonderful, and these new people have just hit the ground running.
Yeah, well said. Okay, Brian.
I don't really have anything. I would just remind everybody that this Saturday is, like Greg said, the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Being a fireman and a third generation fireman, it's something that means a lot to me and to us. If y'all get a chance, come out to 861 and recognize that, or come out to the football stadium. If you can't make the climb, you can participate. We got some other things that are going to be going. We just can't forget that day.
No, and we appreciate y'all continuing to put it before us. That shows what kind of heart and mind you have. And I go along with everything Gary said about the new folks too. Danny?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay. We have been discussing from time to time meeting changes, and I think they're just getting longer and longer, but in an effort to try to please everybody, and I think when you put yourself out to try to please everybody, you please nobody. So my recommendation to the board is that we go from 6:30 to 6. Surely everyone is off work by then, and we looked at different times. And I'm not only looking at our board members, I have the heart to look at my people that have small children at home, and sometimes they hire babysitters because their husbands have night work, Anyway, it's just a little later time, so I'd like to make a proposal that we do start meeting at 6, if anybody has any.
I'll make them.
Gary, can I
Yeah.
say something before Gary make his motion?
Yeah.
And I second.
Okay, little one at home, okay.
I noticed
Robert.
Mr. Povall not here, and I think he had a problem with it. I just wanted to make sure that out of all fairness and sincerity to everybody that, you know, he had a chance to know that we was considering, you know, your time, Melvin. So what I'm saying is I noticed he's not here tonight, and I didn't know if he had still have some problem with it, and just wanted to make sure that he was included. That's all.
Okay.
I make a motion that we change our meeting times to 6 p.m.
I second it.
The first Tuesday of the month.
Second.
Motion made by Gary, seconded by Danny. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? No oppositions, okay. That would be the October meeting. Our next meeting, which will be Tuesday the 14th, will be at 8:30. And then we will have the Tuesday the 21st at 8:30. And we'll make a decision about October, but the way that the virus is still doing, I'm sure we're going to still be on Zoom. So that seems to work fairly well, and we will continue along that plan. Danny, do we have to put that in the paper 3 weeks, or how does that work?
I've done it before. I believe it was published one time 3 weeks in advance, but it may be 3 different times. We'll have to look, but we need to authorize Dominique to do the publication. We'll make sure it's done right.
Right, okay, if you will, Dominique. Okay, Gary, do you want to attempt?
I make a motion that we consider. I make a motion we consider going into executive session.
Second.
Gary, Danny, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. I make a motion we go into executive session.
Gary, Danny, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I would like for Billy and Greg to stay on for our first issue in executive session.
And then Hunter, maybe Hunter and Josh, if y'all can hang out too, I'll put y'all in the waiting room for Infomark when we discuss that.
Can we do something?